What is going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream episode of For the People podcast. And of course, as always, I am your humble host, Niko House, and I am back once again with my guy, Kyle Matt. What? Say your name. Say your name. Say your last name.
Matovic.
There you go. Matovic. I'm gonna keep butchering it probably for the rest of my life. There's too many C's and K's, bro. When the C's and K's get put together, it be confusing my brain, especially with the Portuguese, because C's and K's don't go together in Portuguese. That's not a thing. Man, it is, guys. It's been a crazy week, but before we get started, I would like to ask for you guys to subscribe, hit that like button, share, consider becoming a Patreon member, consider becoming a YouTube premium member, help support the show. And of course, as always, go subscribe to Kyle's YouTube page. The link is in the description below, and you'll see above it, there is a poll asking whether or not you trust Kash Patel with this FBI investigation into his son. Damn, you already let me, you ain't got no faith in my man.
Oh, I tried. I can't help it. It's a natural reaction.
So today we're going to get into these 11 scientists that have gone missing because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been kind of avoiding this story. Not avoiding it, rather. I've been avoiding going down the rabbit hole because this is one of those stories that, you know, once you start digging, there's like almost no end, and eventually going to end up at ET. It's going, like, eventually you're going to end up at ET, and maybe not the nice kind of ET either. Like it's interesting, the timeline of these missing people and these missing scientists and these dead scientists. It's interesting, some of the comments made by some of these scientists. But what I find more interesting probably than everything is the government's reaction or lack thereof up until this point, given how important these scientists actually were. So we're also going to talk about, you know, this amazing screenplay that was put on called the Correspondents dinner.
I knew where you were going, but that's a good way to put it.
We got to talk about some of the the video itself and just everything about it is kind of, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's kind of funny. But the reactions to it, dog. I knew it was coming. I was waiting for let me go ahead and wait about 3 or 4 hours. I'm sure somebody got about to put together all the 50 tweets of these fucking MAGA chuds saying the exact same thing. And that's exactly what happened. I was like, somebody's going to blame the Democrats and say that they wanted him killed. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the Democrats are probably not the only people who would want him dead at this point. I'm going to be very clear about that. I'm not defending Democrats. I'm just saying they're not unique. Right. You know, when you try to start a world war, you create a pretty huge list of enemies. So, go ahead.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it, and like, I don't know, man. It's all like so tiresome, and I think this was kind of like the most recent big happening that could have been like a major deal, and everybody was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I think I saw a poll from Fox News saying like 70% of people thought it was BS. I'm like, and now once again, I didn't verify that was from Fox, but like, I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing that the Secret Service is this incompetent this many times.
Like, what's crazy about that though is if 70% of, like, if somebody, like, if this poll goes out, I don't gotta verify it to think that, like, it's very conceivable that 70% of people think that this is BS, because that's where we're at with it, bro. And we're gonna get more into this, but I'm like, I remember when I was doing my video about this on hospital, I'm like, bro, try to assassinate this man at this point. Like, at what point can you, like, at what point can you keep crying wolf before people start being like, all right, bro, like, we get it. People want to kill you. You think you're super important. Like, I need people to, like, I hope that nobody's under the delusion that if Trump dies, things get better. I want y'all to understand, like, that is not going to happen. So if that's why you want to get rid of him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not a good motivation.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, and also, it's a serious lack of conviction, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish harm on anybody, but I am judging lack of conviction, okay? So with that being said, I want to show you guys really quick the comments made from about these scientists from Donald Trump when he was confronted for the very first time, which is, once again, pretty insane considering the level of importance these scientists carried in their respective fields. And his reaction is a little weird because supposedly he just got out of a meeting talking about that, despite literally no one ever bringing it up. No one in the media, Levitt, not bringing it up. Nobody's brought it up, but somehow, some way, Donald Trump just got out of a meeting talking about it when he was asked. Because, Donald Trump, boy, can lie to your face and he don't think twice if it makes sense. He don't care. He's like, bitch, I lie to y'all every day. What you gonna do? Nobody expects anything different of me.
10 missing scientists with access to classified stuff, nuclear material, aerospace. They've all gone missing or turned up dead in the last couple months. Based on what you've been briefed, what do you think is happening here? And do you think that this is connected or totally random?
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left the meeting on that subject, so pretty serious stuff. But we're going to be hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, if you whatever you want to call it. But some of them were very important people, and we're going to look at it over the next short period.
Dakota, so that's great to hear.
I'm sorry, I just don't believe it.
Yeah, you don't believe he just left the meeting talking about that? Like,
yeah, how convenient. It's like one of those Trump blusters, and every single time he gets caught doing something like this, I feel like it's a child that just got caught doing something that they weren't supposed to do, and they're trying to like waffle their way out of it.
Bro.
Every single time something like this happens, Trump always comes off that way.
He comes off, literally, he comes off like a kid. Like, why would you say you just got out of a meeting talking about that and you didn't appear to have any intention on briefing the world about these top scientists' disappearances? Right. Even though clearly it's a very important issue and everybody is already very suspicious of the government. Y'all don't have a good track record in this administration of pursuing investigations in a way that would lead people to believe that you actually want to solve the case.
Mm-hmm. Honesty, for lack of a better word.
Charlie Kirk, for example. I mean, you can ask Charlie, or you can't really ask Charlie. Mm-hmm. You get my point. Like, y'all have an FBI that generally tends to step aside. And when they're not stepping aside nationally recognized investigations or tragedies, you got an FBI director who's fucking celebrating with hockey teams and shit. Like, we don't have any confidence, and yet you gonna tell us that you just got done leaving a meeting, and based off of that interview before and moments leading up to it, you had no intention on letting the world know that we don't believe you. We don't believe you, and I'm gonna tell you why. He says some of these individuals are very important. That's what he said, guys. That lets you know off rip. I'm gonna run through this list really quick. I'm not gonna do the whole thing about every single one of them, but I'm gonna tell you like just a brief introduction into how important these individuals were. Monica Reza, 60-year-old co-inventor of Mandalloy, a nickel-based superalloy used in rocket engines funded by the Air Force Research Lab and sought by JPL. This is the one who vanished during a hike in Angeles National Forest. Like, she was like, oh, I'm right behind you. Then the dude turned around and turned back around and she was gone. Yeah. Melissa Cassius, 53-year-old administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory. She entered a secure facility with her husband, just left for some reason. Later, told her daughter she forgot her badge, even though she just got done using it. Took her daughter to lunch, disappeared, never saw her again. Mark Anthony Chavez, 30, R&D engineer, Los Alamos again. And if I'm not mistaken, Los Alamos is known for, what is Los Alamos known for? I think they're known for like all the Rockwell stuff, aren't they?
I'm not
if I'm
sure.
not mistaken. But he was not a 30-year-old. He was a 30-year R&D engineer at Los Alamos, and he retired but remained in the area. He stepped out of his house one day, leaving his car locked in the driveway with his wallet, and as if he only intended to be gone for like just a few minutes. Bro, gone. Yeah.
The Manhattan Project administrators found an ideal location for the secret laboratory where they designed and built the world's first atomic weapons. That's why. Okay.
That's what it is. Yes. Yeah. That's where Oppenheimer built the first atomic A-bomb. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So Stephen Garcia, property custodian at Kansas City National Security Campus, which is kind of like weird. But he handles non-nuclear components for the U.S. He, even though he has a mundane title, he held a high-level clearance. So it could have been a cover title, let's be honest, right? Because we know how this works. In that clearance gave him oversight over hundreds of millions of sensitive hardware. Security cameras showed him leaving his home in camouflage, carrying a gun, leaving behind his wallet, his keys, and his phone. His work computers and his emails were later reviewed by the facility, but they have not disclosed what they found in those emails. Major General William Neal McCaslin. He might be the most prominent case because he was a former commander for the Air Force Research Lab at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and he oversaw $2.2 billion of science and technology portfolios and more than 10,000 personnel. He appeared in the 2016 leaks from UFO researcher Tom DeLonge to Clinton chair John Podesta. Y'all remember John Podesta, John Podesta, identified as the person overseeing the lab allegedly connected to the Roswell materials. After retiring, he co-founded a defense consulting firm with DARPA. Vanished from his New Mexico home while his wife was gone for about an hour. He took his hiking boots, his revolver, and wallet and left his phone behind. So now we're seeing the pattern. And his wife stated later publicly that he had no dementia, but she also said that he had no special knowledge of Roswell, which that part is hard to believe. And also, those are just the people who just went missing and aren't confirmed dead. So then you have Amy Eskridge. We're going to watch a video from her in a second, but she was 34-year-old researcher, co-founded the Institute of Exotic Science with her father, a former NASA scientist. Her work focused on quantum computing, gravity modification, metamaterials, exotic propulsion, and she explicitly linked her work to research at Wright-Patterson. In the weeks before her death, on June 2022, in Huntsville, Alabama, she told her friends, a former British intelligence officer, that she was being harassed. She described what she believed to be direct energy weapon attacks causing burns on her hands. Right, she was going through it. But she was very clear, which we'll see in the video in a second. Bro, she was not suicidal. Ended up dead. Jacob Pritchard, Air Force Research Lab employee, Wright-Patterson, ended up dead. This was a crazy one. He killed his wife, placed her body in a trunk of a car, drove to another female colleague's home, killed her as well, then killed himself. And then no explanation was given. We don't know if it was a lover's quarrel. Maybe he got caught with a side piece. Nothing. No, by the way, all these people who disappeared or off themselves did not leave suicide notes. That's Nuno Loureiro, a physicist and head of Major Fusion Research Center at MIT, working on plasma physics, magnetic reconnection. He was shot and killed when he answered his front door. Allegedly, the shooter carried out a mass shooting at Brown University and apparently knew Loureiro. And if I'm not mistaken, this guy did not get charged. Oh, no, excuse me. My apologies. I think he did get charged. This one did get charged. So Michael David Hicks, 24-year JPL veteran, worked on near Earth asteroid tracking, the Dark Planetary Defense System, and the Dawn probe. He died 2023, 59, no public cause of death, no autopsy release. Frank Maywell, 25-year JPL veteran, leading the technology, same thing. Like, oh no, and then Carl Gilmer, who was an astrophysicist, he got shot. They arrested the man with the gun on him, and then a suspect had his charges dropped later on. And then they didn't give an explanation as to why the charges. Like, he didn't even go to trial, Kyle.
Just charges dropped.
Charges dropped. Yes, sir.
My conspiracy theory, and this is just totally my own speculation, so please no one run with this as a fact, but hearing that there's nuclear scientists here, that does concern me. The fact that nuclear scientists have just up and gone missing
Yeah.
when we're being consistently told that Iran can't have a nuke. And you and I have, I'm sure, just completely beat this point to death at this point. And anybody who listens to this show knows that Iran wasn't developing a nuke. And there is one country in the Middle East that just so happens to be involved in this whole war situation with the US that does have a nuclear, weapons cache that nobody knows about. There's something weird going on here when you have a bunch of US nuclear scientists that just all of a sudden go missing. Like, my question would be, okay, were they objectors? Why did they
Yeah.
go missing? Did they have some information? Because it seems like a lot of these people had clearances.
Yeah, all of them
So
did. At one point, had top level security clearance,
Yeah.
and were like a lot of them were hands on in the development of, really advanced technology, technology that most of us probably haven't even seen yet.
Right, and
So
contracts with different weapons, contractors or defense contractors as well. I just could this be coincidental? I think it is highly, highly, highly unlikely that this is just coincidence that all these scientists go missing or dead. And particularly the fact that one died in 2023, which would happen in 2023. Well, of course, it was October 7th, 2023, which is kind of a big deal. And if you know what one state's, I'm sorry about that, but
Yeah.
if you're aware of what one little state over there is capable of doing and what they have, and judging by how they've reacted over the last 3 years, if you see that coming down the pike and you're aware of how these people operate, you may feel a little bit obliged to be like, no, I'm not going to participate in defense contracting or anything to do with nuclear weapons when this country has
yeah,
nukes. I there's just tons of facts here that you can string together that if you're looking at this in terms of the US potentially using a nuclear weapon against Iran because they're concerned about Iran developing a nuclear weapon, this looks very strange in that context. I don't know what that means completely and totally, and I don't know exactly what happened with these people, but I'm just saying in this context, top
yeah.
secret clearances, dealing with nuclear weapons, and a war in Iran, it is very strange, and it doesn't look
Nuclear.
good.
You got nuclear weapons, scientists, jet propulsion, anti gravity, right? There and there's like a very, very plausible, impossible reality where they were targeted by a foreign government, and it could be that those people, we don't know, and maybe it could be because I think there is some truth to the fear that maybe these individuals didn't like the idea of the United States giving these weapons to those people. And because not only do they know the weapon, like giving weapons to Israel isn't necessarily the problem. It's knowing the full capabilities of these weapons and having the knowledge to pass to other countries to defend themselves from those weapons, or having the knowledge to pass other countries to develop those weapons. To develop, you know what I'm saying? Like there is a scenario, because I feel like a lot of people, even though we all know, like, okay, defense contractors generally speaking are a piece of shit, like the companies themselves. I think a lot of people forget along the way that a lot of people who work for these companies are merely scientists looking to maximize their research and put themselves in a position where they can get funding to create breakthrough scientific revelations. And yeah, they should, should they know better? Should they be aware of who they're working for and what the damage done causes? Like what damage could be potentially done by the creations? Because if you're working, at these Air Force bases, working at bro, it's obvious. At some point, these are probably going to be used as weapons. I think that those scientists are normal people like you and I. And when a normal people sees some of the crimes and the atrocities being carried out over there, and knowing that the U.S. is funding a lot of this, but also giving weapons, and they know that the U.S. is getting dead. Because we have to put this in the correct context. There's that war that we see going on between Israel and Iran, but we also know who else was the U.S. helping. Because these missing people and murders, or rather deaths, they're strung across two administrations that felt the need to ignore.
All right.
And what war started in the Biden administration?
The war in Ukraine with Russia.
Exactly. And what did a lot of people say this war is to do? It was to test Russia's capabilities militarily. It was to test U.S. weapons ability to do damage to Russia, right? It was, and probably there are some weapons that were used that were never used or haven't been used in that type, like up in close combat like that against a superpower, like instead of just against like Iraq or Syria. So there is a chance that maybe these scientists were being told like, hey man, we want to use this stuff soon. Maybe they started bullshitting. They're like, man, I'm about to start making some clerical errors, some administrative, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be any of those things, but it was something about, at least in one case, and I'm about to put it up right now. In one case, it was about passing information that luckily, well, we don't know. It looks like it never got passed, but we still have to figure it out. I hope it did get passed, honestly. But this is from Amy Eskridge. She is the first victim. Everybody, make sure. Oh, there we go. Make sure everybody can see it. So she's the first victim, and her comments, y'all, kind of like gave me chills. I'm thinking like, yo, this is a person who was basically doing interviews and screaming at the top of her, like, you know, when you feel like your life is under duress, like you're threatened, the best thing you can do is what she did, which is tell the world.
Right.
Like and it basically amounted to nothing. And this happened in 2022. And she was extremely important. It's like, oh, there's some important people. No, these are revolutionary scientists. And the US government treated it like whatever, which lets you know some things.
It's been independently discovered 4 other times. He said it has been suppressed every single fucking time. And he said, I don't think they're going to suppress it this time. He said, I think you're in the clear. He said, they obviously know about you because I've had multiple, both protective and threatening interactions with various agency affiliations, whatever. He was like, if you haven't had a US government agent come to you and say, stop, shut the fuck up, stop, shut the fuck up. If that hasn't happened, they're going to let you do it. They're waiting. There are SSP motherfuckers that are fucking twiddling their thumbs. Like, is Amy not going to publish soon? Gah, we've been influencing this bitch forever. Doesn't she know we want her to publish? Jesus. Like, there's multiple people doing that right now. And on the other side of the fence, there's multiple parties looking at each other like, didn't we tell this bitch 3 years ago that we kill people for this? Is she not listening? What is she doing? She's still doing it? What? We told her we were going to kill her 3 years ago. So I have these two different scenarios floating constantly in my life where I have people being like, do it, do it, do it. You're the one, do it. And then I have multiple people being like, they're going to kill you. Don't do it. They're going to kill you.
So that was one. Like, literally predicted her death on camera. Like,
so do you know what she was referencing when she said about publishing stuff?
So my assumption would be the research that she was doing, because she was the anti-gravity, like she was the one with one of the most significant resumes.
Okay.
So she co-founded Institute for Exotic Science with her father, a former NASA scientist. Her work focused on quantum computing, gravity modification, metamaterials, and exotic propulsion. And she explicitly linked her work to research at Wright-Patterson.
And
And
when did she go missing? Was that the one in
that
2023?
that was the one. No, she was the first one in 2022,
Okay. So
and she died.
Okay, so one thing that I know a lot of like the PayPal mafia guys, if you will, had focused on, and I have to imagine this crosses just even from like the guys who were Trump kind of lackeys, and this was probably part of like the Joe Biden administration as well, is that like a big focus of the pivot to Asia, if you will, and like the war on China is about quantum computing, AI, about
Really?
advanced technology. Well, yeah, that's like their focus because they believe that China should not have like the beat on the US when it comes to AI, quantum computing.
Too late.
Well, yeah, exactly. But once again, if she's blowing the whistle on something having to do with quantum computing, which probably relates to AI, do you see what I'm saying?
Not even blowing the whistle necessarily. Maybe it's just like, because she's like, when are you going to publish? Like, it could just be like peer reviewed, normal, what a scientist would normally publish when they make an advance is like a grand discovery.
Yeah.
Right? Because perhaps the enemy, not really the enemy, but the enemy could build upon that.
Exactly.
Perhaps the enemy, not the enemy necessarily, but a company that's affiliated with the enemy, for example, like they hire her, they invest in her, and now everything that because they have everything that she discovered. So you got to think, bro. So it's 2022. When did ChatGPT really take off?
I'll look that up, but
Was it like the end of 2022, 2023, beginning of 2023, like roughly?
I want ChatGPT.
Because I remember when it came out, and then but there was like a period where
Actually, yeah, damn, you were pretty close. It was released in November 2022.
There you go. And
So-
I gotta remember, when did she die? Hold up, I'm gonna check really quick when she died.
This it was on their Wikipedia that said that, by the way, so in case anybody's wondering. I wonder if maybe she, and this is kind of, once again, this is going out pure speculation on my part, but if she were to publish a paper that were to show that the US wasn't quite as far
June
ahead,
11th, bro, she died, 2022. June 11th, 2022, she dies. ChatGPT takes off in November.
Okay. My speculation is, what if she was going to release something saying like, hey, we're way behind when it comes to China. Now, like to people like you and me, this doesn't matter. Okay. But when you talk about the geopolitical chessboard and the way that like the US government's going to look at this, they're trying to manage their own image. And this would look really bad if they have to come out and basically say like, China's kicking our ass. Like,
Or because so this is pre-chat. So I think China released their AI after ChatGPT. So what if she's publishing all the ways that the U.S. government, or what if she plans on publishing all the ways that the U.S. government is intentionally failing the experiment of AI, the way that it's being manipulated, the way that they have the ability to make sure that AI is done correctly, that it learns at the pace that it needs to learn. Because you got to remember, this is the same ChatGPT that told us, oh yeah, Israel has a right to live, but then when you ask about Palestine, well, that's complicated, right? So if she understood all that, so you're talking about not only because whatever she publishes, right? She could expose why because ChatGPT, for those of you who don't know, that's basically the government's choice. That's their choice that they choose to fund. And it's crazy because it is trash. But it had, I think it's almost $1 trillion now invested into ChatGPT, even though it is not even close. It is like maybe it's like top 4, but like only because it had like Apple has pissed me off because they're in the meantime, because I know how Apple operates. Apple's not going to stick with ChatGPT for very long, but they're using ChatGPT's AI engine, and it's fucking trash. Apple AI is garbage. It really is, and it's because it's ChatGPT. So she is telling people all the problems with the way AI is being built. Potentially, she could be, and she could also tell people how to make it better. So now you create competition.
Well, and also add to that how we were kind of talking about the conscientious objector angle a little bit earlier, although we didn't explicitly say that. Imagine if you knew about like the Where's Daddy AI that they were using in Gaza, which basically is supposed to simulate people's voices to get people to go to them, which is where a lot of the drone strikes took place or the bombs that were dropped on Gaza. If you knew that they were planning on using stuff like that, I don't think I'd sleep that well at night.
Well, she said she was she did say that she was approached by various agencies, but then went on to say, until the US tells you don't do it, you're good. So other agencies from other countries were directly in contact with her, threatening her.
Who would do that?
And she didn't, and because she didn't say which country they were from, it leads me to believe we know exactly which country they were from.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right. A lot of new AI technology was implemented during the genocide in Gaza. And people kind of forget that. And if she's telling people what the capability, it's like the Vault 7 drop, but with the name of an expert attached to it. Because that's her field, right? I'm telling you all of the ways this AI can be used. And I'm also telling you this is being funded directly by the US government. And it could, that shit could be, bro. It also probably would show that, and a lot of people already speculate this based off the evidence that we've seen, just how far in advance Israel had been planning October 7th. Mm-hmm. Once you put two and two together, that's a possibility. Don't get me wrong, it's pure speculation, but it's a possibility so hold on really quick. We want to check out her other video, which is even more sinister. Like
while you're pulling that up, my friends Stefan and Pete did a podcast together, and it was called "You're in a Israeli panopticon," I think it was called. And what they always talk about with a lot of these weapon systems is that they're battle tested. As effed up as it is to say, it's battle tested in Gaza. If you know about these AI tools and you know about these different weapons, it's because the Israelis use them to the cost of U.S. taxpayers. They use them in Gaza and say, hey, we know these work. Now we're going to sell them to Taiwan, Ukraine, to the UAE, to the Saudis, to any U.S. partner. We're going to partner with them because we know these weapons are battle tested in Gaza. Once again, if you're some kind of quantum computing engineer, familiar with AI, familiar with nuclear weapons, and you knew that was what your work's going to go do, at a certain point, I think you'd probably want to be like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore because what I'm doing is directly slaughtering thousands of people.
Yeah. And it actually, now that you say that, it makes a lot of sense that as technology is advancing and the US needs an excuse to know, like they need an excuse to test these new weapons advancements, the genocide going on for as long as it has, and Netanyahu basically getting a green light to do so, and knowing how much the weapons manufacturers are in the pockets, or rather the politicians are in the pockets of the weapons manufacturers, right? All of it actually makes sense. Like, yeah, we need somebody to test these on, and we need a valid excuse. And that's why Netanyahu is getting the ultimate green light, because he's not only waging war, obviously, against waging the genocide in Gaza, he's doing so against Lebanon, Iran, et cetera, et cetera. And once again, same thing in the Ukraine. Same thing in Ukraine, bro. Like, they needed an excuse. Ukraine's always, like, they've always created random excuses to get involved with Ukraine, or that area in general, right? So, you can make an argument that we wanted to overthrow Iran and we wanted to help Iraq overthrow Iran, but you can make an argument that we goaded Saddam into trying to go after Iran so we could test our nuclear depleted uranium weapons that we had just got done making. People forget like that was a thing. And then those weapons actually got used against soldiers when we went after Saddam in the 90s, probably in the 2000s too, but definitely in the 90s when we went after him. So let me play this clip real quick, because this is where she starts talking about how she was basically under attack from an energy weapon. And I'm inclined to believe her given her speciality. So
I found out that I was being physically surveilled by the following method. My ex-boyfriend and I realized that people had been breaking into our apartment while we were gone together in the same vehicle. And so like, I'm in the apartment, I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, why don't you take out the trash and scope out the parking lot and make sure it's okay before I go to work? So he goes out there and he's like, there's this weird fucking Lexus. It's like a silver Lexus. This is a shitty apartment. Like, why is there really nice Lexus in the parking lot? And it has tinted windows that are not street legal, like just totally dark, totally black tinted windows that are not possibly street legal. And so he comes back in and we're standing in our bedroom window looking at the Lexus and talking about it. And I say out loud, maybe we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, because the Lexus is across the parking lot from us, but it's backed in, so you can't see the license plate. Within 2 minutes of me saying, hey, we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, we were still standing there at the window looking at it, talking about it. And an Eastern European looking motherfucker with a black beanie, dressed all in black, in his 50s or 60s, walked out of the apartment directly across from ours holding a license plate. And he opened the trunk of the Lexus and he took out some tools and he changed the license plate right in front of our fucking faces. And then he walked back to his apartment and he put the old license plate on the front patio and went inside, left it outside. And it was literally like, come get the license plate. I have more where this came from. Come get the license plate. And then after that, the Lexus started tailing me. And every time I saw the Lexus, it had a different license plate. It would be like Alabama plates, a different state plate. It would be random dealer plates, none of which were local, just like cardboard temporary dealer plates, none of which were any local dealers. Every time I saw it, it was different plates. It would follow me to the gas station to go get beer. I would go get beer at the gas station and that Lexus follows me. And even my ex called an Uber once. He called an Uber. The Lexus pulled out from the spot across the parking lot from our apartment, drove over to our apartment and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up.
Bruh.
The license matched in the Uber app, but they didn't have an Uber sticker or a Lyft sticker. You can't drive Uber if you don't have an Uber sticker. He pulled out of his spot. He pulled out of his spot across from our apartment where he lived and drove over there to pick him up and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up. They changed the license plate right in front of our face. Like 60 seconds after I said, hey, we should go take a picture of that license plate. And they leave it on the patio, like, take it. We have more. Just take it. Like, I'm scared.
Bruh.
I'm tired. I'm real tired. I need to disclose soon, man. I need to publish soon because it's like escalating. It's getting more and more aggressive. Like over the past, this has been going on for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And over the past 12 months, it's been like escalating, like more aggressive, more invasive, digging through my digging through my underwear drawer and sexual threats over the past like 3 to 6 months. And now I'm like, fuck, I have to publish. Fuck, I have to publish because like, it's only going to get worse. till I publish.
Bruh. You see her hands? She was getting surveilled and also they had an energy weapon basically monitoring her computer and left her hands burn. She had to switch everything out and then like it stopped. Like, yeah, bro. Nah, that case, her case is insane. And the fact that she did an interview like that back then before she died and it didn't go viral.
That's intentional.
How? How does that interview not go viral, bro?
Buried. They buried it.
That's
And,
like terrifying.
No one heard about, like, I didn't hear about these scientists until probably like 2-3 weeks ago. And I remember hearing someone say that like Chinese scientists were dying too. Now, I don't, once again, the extent of that, I don't know because I haven't looked into that very much either. But like, why is like there been no major coverage of this, talking about all these scientists going missing? And like, especially since it's been a thing since 2022, 4 years, and like top nuclear scientists, all these people with like top secret clearances are just going missing. Like, that to me kind of seems like a big deal.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, hers separate from the other ones. There could have been just her before everybody else got killed. Just her story is insane.
Yeah.
That would make me suspicious of everybody else working even near her department, like just in any capacity.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, no, this is weird. But it's like you got missing hikers, you got people, you know, killing their wife at work, and then like what is?
People
and no
dipping
one
out.
thought these stories were interesting. No one in the media who was thirsty. They're always thirsty for some type of breaking news coverage, especially whenever it's verifiable. Like, it is verifiable this scientist killed his wife and went and put her in a trunk and then went and killed somebody else. It is verifiable another scientist was killed by somebody and then that person had the charges dropped. That is verifiable news. Like, that is national news.
Well, and what about the people who they left their house, left most of their possessions, but left with guns in the middle of the night?
Yeah, hiking boot, gun, no phone. Hiking boot, gun, no phone. Hiking boot, like what? Also, like all these people got hiking boots. That's also kind of weird. But like I didn't know that hiking boots were like so popular. But I know boots are popular, but you know I didn't know hiking boots are like. Is that like a standard scientist like attire? Is that standard scientist? I don't know, maybe. But
I guess if you live out there, maybe you like to hike a lot. But
true.
You think you would take like your phone or something with you? Like, hey, if I fall in the middle of the desert, I want to be able to call somebody to come get me. But
absolutely. Yeah, at the bare minimum, like you taking your Apple Watch, your little, you know, they got that super fancy hiker camping Apple Watch now. Like you taking something.
Yeah,
you're not just about to go out at night and you know what I'm saying? Like and just I'm gonna take my chances. I'll take my chance with the coyotes. No, this story is just mind blowing to me because. One is a coincidence. No, if we're taking her out the picture, 1 is a coincidence. 2 is maybe still a coincidence. 3, okay, we got to report on this.
Yeah,
well, something going on because 3 people missing in the way. 3 people dead will probably be less suspicious, but 3 people missing, under suspicious circumstances, right after they saw their family and their family were like, we have no idea what the hell happened, and no one, and the families of I 100% believe. These family members, no, they don't know who took them, but they know why they were taken.
Yeah.
And they can't talk about it because they just witnessed like, this man thought he was protected. You ain't nobody. Nobody's going to miss you. So imagine if you you even bring up what they were researching, what they were studying. Hold up. I wonder if she did get a chance to publish. I need to know now. I don't know why I didn't ask that before, but it's whatever she was about to publish must have been just earth shattering. Right. It must have been. Cause Also, Uber, the hell? What is going on with that?
Yeah. So if I understand this correctly, the guy who changed his plate claimed to be her Uber and turned away her actual Uber. Did I understand that
But
right?
she said, no.
Okay.
She said that when the guy left his parking spot, showed up, said, I'm your Uber. They were like, okay, like now you're just fucking with us. Basically, is like how they felt. Then they went to confirm that the Uber plate in the app matched the license, and it did.
Oh.
And bro, you know how much of a process it is to get accepted by Uber? It's like a big process. Changing your license plate is a big deal. You got to have registration for like it is a process. And even if you do it too many times in a row, it's supposed to like start, throwing up flags.
Well, probably, yeah.
It is like, no, we got somebody in Uber, bro. You ain't know? Of course they do. Uber effectively is the government's choice of rideshare apps. Hell, even in Brazil, Lyft, for example, is not allowed here. They have an exclusive. Uber has an exclusive contract with Brazil. So they are. However, I don't know how it happened, but they are highly integrated with the U.S. federal government and with state governments. So it is very possible they have them on the inside. It's like, hey man, make sure you got my Uber. Make sure you update it. All kinds, bro. That's terrifying. I don't know how she dealt with it for so long. Because she said 5 years before she got killed.
Well, I looked briefly into DeepSeek, and it says that some of the DeepSeek, like one of the founders was looking into AI as early as like 2017, which would be 5 years prior to DeepSeek or before like ChatGPT and all that. So I have to imagine that AI, obviously artificial intelligence, has been around for some form for decades, right? Not like obviously not to the degree that we see it
not
now.
publicly accessible, but yeah,
right. Like there are video games that have artificial intelligence. Like I think about Alien Isolation is a game that I absolutely love, and like that had a very advanced AI for the time. Then now, like you didn't have large language models, which are basically supposed to be able to like interpret text and then tell you things like to the degree that they're available now. So like if they had some base form of AI that could probably do a lot of what we're doing now back in 2017, then like, how much was she into all this? You know what I mean? Because this is part of computing.
So what she allegedly was trying to publish, the core research foundational anti-gravity paper. So in 2020, Eskridge said she intended to present new foundational research on anti-gravity, but required authorization from NASA before doing so. This was not a minor incremental paper by her own description. It represented a foundational breakthrough in the physics of gravity manipulation. The research was developed in collaboration with her father, retired NASA engineer Richard Eskridge, through their company Holocron Engineering, and involved presentations about gravity modification experiments. So the specific elements she was working with, bismuth superconductivity, where she was exploring bismuth's properties as a material capable of interacting with gravitational fields in unconventional ways. A fifth force framework, building on her father's work. The research incorporated theoretical physics around a potential fifth fundamental force beyond the four known ones, which is a whole different thing. Anti-gravity propulsion principles, practical applications of gravity modifications for propulsion systems. Practical applications bro, that is insane.
Yeah, like my
you talking about floating cars, bro. That's what we talk about, guys.
I'm a mechanic by day, but like when you start talking about gravity, like if you can alter gravity, this changes the fundamentals of pretty much everything we know. Right. So like, I don't think people understand how massive this is. So like the only way to just kind of give like a brief example, I'll try to be as brief as possible, but like for a pump to work, a pump can only work with a restriction and gravity, right? If you just have a fan, right? So like the fans that are inside my computer right here, you basically have just blades that are spinning, right? okay, so now if you put those blades that are spinning inside of a housing, but there's no gravity, it's not going to do anything. But when you put gravity upon it and then you put a fluid or something in there and the blades start moving, then now that can act with a restriction to create pressure, which would create, basically like you'd be able to pump stuff out of there. If you can change the way that works, then you can change the way that energy works altogether, because
Altogether.
I mean, there's so much.
That's like, because it's like, I mean, inherent in energy generation is manipulation of vibrations, basically.
Yes.
And that's like ultimately what it comes down to. The gravity, or at least we thought, gravity is necessary to create the vibrations needed to generate energy, at least a sufficient amount of energy to for most of everything that we know to exist, most of our technology to work. And she's basically saying that she had a way like, nigga, no, we don't need that. Like everything, bro, the world as we know it would change. And so NASA blocked it, which is wild. I didn't know that they could do that. But so in September 2020, Eskridge issued a cease and desist order against another group called Falcon Space, who were attempting to present related research at a conference called Estes Park, claiming the material was not approved for release due to relations with NASA. NASA claimed they would allow the research to come out within 30 days. It never came out. Not much more on the research came out publicly from the institute, which probably is because if she tried to release it, I would assume that somebody else would try to take credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Because they could look at how quick they buried this goddamn story.
Right.
How many people knew that this institute existed with her father? How many people knew about her father's research? I goddamn didn't. And this is like, that's something this is the type of stuff I'm super interested in. I never knew this institute existed. So the institute no more research came out from the institute or Amy Eskridge following that September 22 cease and desist until Amy died on June 11, 2022. From the sound of it, both Amy and Falcon Space wanted the research out in the public domain. They wanted to present it, and NASA was holding it up and preventing its release. It's not clear the paper was ever published, or if the paper was ever published or not. But NASA could have permanently prevented it somehow. I know how they permanently, because whoever's working in that field definitely knows her and her father, and she was killed. And they were like, yeah, that's how we're going to prevent it. We're going to show you exactly what we'll do. Bro, so think about being an individual making $200,000, $300,000 a year in the R&D department of Lockheed Martin. Your job just became obsolete, my guy.
Right.
Your job just became obsolete.
Yeah, well, and now, how's Lockheed Martin supposed to pay out all those pensions if now you've just changed the way that everything functions?
Because you have to pay to convert over to this new way. I mean, dog, not only that, but like all those guys are like 55, 60 years old who are your wisest veterans in the industry, making sometimes probably millions at that point, right? With benefits and stock options and things like that. You can't even justify paying these months. Like, dog, this 22-year-old went to college for this, and there was no way that you cannot. It's hard for me to believe that a 60-year-old who's only become adept at technology functioning a very, very specific way that he's been using his entire life, all of a sudden is going to be able to understand anti-gravity technology used for practical purposes. He ain't building a rocket ship. He's literally talking about floating cars, basically. You talking about, I don't have to mount my TV on the wall. I put one thing here on the wall, put another thing on the back of my TV, and that shit's just hovering.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy, but like when you learn about how intricate the automotive field is, for example, like they've spent probably billions of dollars, right? Like right now, GM and Ford, when I looked at this back a couple of years back, they were losing like billions of dollars every single quarter to basically have an electric vehicle line.
Yep.
When
Tesla's doing the same thing.
Right. When they started moving over from the old refrigerant R134 to 1234YF, the way that they kind of like did this testing is that they would leave a vehicle in a room for 24 hours after running it and doing like the whole emissions testing to figure out how much emissions comes off the plastics and stuff like this. There's so much that goes into like monitoring all this stuff that like if you have to start from scratch because the propulsion is now changed permanently, now what?
Yep, because here's my and this is like you got to think of it like this, guys. She drops that paper. We want to believe that. Oh, why wouldn't the U.S. want that? Wouldn't that give them an advantage? Yeah, theoretically, if the U.S. was known to spend their money efficiently, if they were known to make these type of transitions in technology cost effective, if you know what I'm saying, like this is the same United States that basically blocked everyone else from creating electric vehicles, or at least creating them and releasing the technology, and allowed Tesla to get a monopoly, which killed competition and allowed Tesla to release a shitty electric car and charge more than everybody else, right? And look at what happened with China, because they actually do believe in innovation and they're willing to subsidize innovation, not subsidize oligarchs, right? Because there's nothing innovative about Elon Musk. He's just very good at conducting hostile takeovers. That's about it. And having babies with 15 different baby mamas. That's it. So the United States, in theory, should be the ones that benefited from this. And that could be why some countries, foreign agencies rather, were threatening her. That could be true. But also, there's the other side. China gets this information, makes it much cheaper to advance because they're fully aware whoever is able to advance technology will win the day. The materials used to further this research and to realize the technology, China probably already has. It probably includes lithium and all these rare earth minerals that China already has access to. And they have a government willing to pursue the technology in a cost efficient way, with less bureaucracy and monopolies getting in the way, bro. I could see easily them killing her off just because they're like, girl, you know damn well we're not about to. Because every single corporation, bro, every major corporation, you got to completely rethink everything, bro. GE, GM, like, bro, your local towing company, like that tow truck is obsolete now. Boy, I can just zoop. It changes everything like that. And it's to me, it's interesting that as many stories as I've seen about these scientists and stories that I've seen specifically about her, I haven't actually seen anyone talking about the research she was doing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like we're always taught that electricity flows from positive to negative, although it actually flows from negative to positive. And it always makes me laugh because I remember when I was in college learning about this, I was like, so wait, why don't we just say it goes from negative to positive? Oh, because everybody already has established that it's positive and negative. Like, but that's not. So like,
bro,
what are we doing? Like, let's just be honest about this.
That's like the first time. So when I took economy in college, or econ, right, bro? I remember what it was. Everything is based off of supply and demand, and I remember the explanation they gave. And I'm like, that's not true. And my teacher was like, yo, no, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, our economy is not based off of supply and demand, because at that point I had already done enough research and I knew. I'm like, no, because the United States is historically known for manipulating supply and demand.
Bingo.
So like they can manipulate demand when they want and control the supply chain, and they will have a surplus of supply. For example, if it was supply and demand, why are there so many brand new cars just sitting in a damn graveyard with nothing? Like, and they just won't give them away. They can't sell them, so they're just sitting there. So, like, in other words, all of our cars are actually far less valuable because of the surplus. But they've convinced us that this is actually the value of the car, when it's not true. So, homes even, right?
Right. And then
we know that there's a law that you could the people just pull up to your crib if you haven't been occupying it, and they are. they have a right to live there because there are that many empty homes in the United States.
Right.
So where the value of these homes are coming from, and why are they rising so high? If the supply demand theory is in fact true, and the truth is it's not.
Right. There's just so many different strings to pull on there too, because also interest rates affect the way that people interact with money. Because if you have a higher interest rate, then people are going to tend to save a little bit more, be a little bit more conservative because they see their money growing. Whereas if you have low interest rates for a long period of time, then people tend to spend more money and also be a little bit more speculative because you can get money same as cash. So like that's why you see all these like buy now, pay later schemes, is because now people can basically, okay, well, you know, if I'm not getting rewarded for saving my money, then I'm just going to spend it because there's no reason to save it. So that right there changes the way that a people view their relationship and like the economy even views money. Also, you have to deal with like the stock market, where like a lot of the inflation goes into the stock market. That's why stocks are so high. And then housing as well. Like you were saying, all these houses are worth a ton of value because all the boomers are holding on to their houses and not selling. And this is what a lot of people consider to be their net worth. And this is like another area where China largely surpasses the US, is that China doesn't view housing as speculation. They view housing as what it is. It's something you live in. It's something you need.
Yeah,
So
even
you don't
in Brazil, it's the same way. Like homes are, so there are, I would say the majority of cars, if it was built between 2023 and 2025, the majority of cars in Brazil cost more money than homes, than your average condo or even a house. I'm not joking, bro. Like it is actually nuts. I remember I was looking at a condo, it was going to be 250,000 reais. You know how much a Toyota Corolla is? A 2025 Toyota Corolla in Brazil is 230, 240, something like that. And that's like before taxes and everything. Yeah. And the price that you would pay every year in taxes for that car would be more than your property taxes. Because technically speaking, in Brazil, because they have really good public transportation. So in like Sao Paulo, Rio, having a car actually is a luxury. But having a home is not a luxury, which is why so it makes sense, right? So you remember she was talking about the 4 forces. So the forces are electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, gravity, obviously. So the 5th force that she was talking about was potentially threatening all these established scientific institutions, because it's that physics has been trying to unify all these forces for a long time. Even Einstein was trying to unify it, but it didn't really take. They couldn't figure it out. And the 5th force would completely rewrite the standard model of what we know today as physics. Like everything would be erased. So it would involve a new way of interacting with gravity. It would have direct implications for propulsion, energy generation, and potentially replicating the flight characteristics seen in UAPs, instant acceleration, no visible propulsion, defiance of inertia. So basically, she's like Tony Stark, effectively, right? Like that's basically what it is. Instant acceleration. I mean, that is, bro. And I know I would think a younger, more naive version of myself would instantly think like, why would y'all kill her? That's dope. She just, that's too fast. That's because I'm sure would have been concluded in this work is how to achieve it without going broke, without like the simplicity of it, rather, right? Because when she solved the math problem, so like the best example I can give is a car. So, and not just a car, but really almost everything. But people don't realize technology, generally speaking, is actually based off of everything we've learned from nature. So a water faucet, simple terms, mini waterfall, plumbing, rivers that flow into a waterfall, right? Plumbing is basically they're controlled rivers that flow into a mini waterfall. A car, if you actually think about it, why have we not been able to create a car that can run forever? without you having to make a major, like, I got to take out the engine and completely replace it. Like, because we haven't figured out immortality, and a car is based off of the human body, right? It needs fuel. It has exhaust. All these, we call the pipes the entire exhaust system, really, like your intestines and all that good stuff. Your battery would probably be your heart, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it is literally a human body. And if you don't take care of it, if you don't oil the human body, or if you don't take care of it, put good food in it, your body runs like shit. You don't keep up the maintenance, your body runs like shit. Like, it's a human body. So we really take, for every piece of technology that we have, we've taken from something, we've taken notes from something that already exists in society. Even cameras, these advanced cameras, just fucking mirrors. This is mirrors. That's all it is. Like, it's at the end of the day. So if she was able, she obviously learned how to apply this knowledge and made it simple. So to the point where, like, you would be an idiot if you didn't apply it and move your, and take advantage of the technology and what she learned. Like, that probably, I mean, yeah, these scientists missing are huge stories. I know there's, like, people are really focused on this potential UFO angle, right? There's a huge, like, oh, well, and that could be true too. That could all be true. But to me personally, we see people get killed off for discovering advancements in technology all the time.
Right.
And this woman, it's like her and NASA, but in her field, it's just her and her dad. She does an interview letting everyone know they are trying to kill me. And I know I'm the only one in this field. And that interview got to be at least 4 years old. That's terrifying, people, to know that we are in a position that we actually have the ability to advance further in our technology than we already have, that we've already done so far. And we think that everything that we're seeing right now seems so incredibly impressive. And we're learning now, nah, bro, we're actually way behind. And it's on purpose. And the government is refusing to investigate it. So she was saying that foreign governments were trying to kill her. And even though they said, yeah, the CIA, until the CIA says something, you should be straight. Until the U.S. government says something, you should be straight. But then she does end up dying, and FBI, CIA, federal government doesn't do anything about it. Which is why, once again, we usually end up at the logical conclusion. She said an Eastern European type of guy. We know what that usually means.
Yeah.
There is a particular group of individuals that do look Eastern European, even though they'll try to convince you that they're native to the Middle East. So I just felt like that, you got any closing remarks on that? I just feel like this whole story is now, like I said, one of the reasons I was so scared to cover it a couple of weeks ago when I first learned about it was the rabbit hole. Because I'm like, this is going to consume all my attention. I'm not going to be sleeping. I'm going to because that's what happens because it's so many layers to it. And you ultimately, but you do know what the conclusion is going to be like. Somebody got too close to some information, and it's information that could be revolutionary to humanity.
You flew too close to the sun, and it wasn't that you got burned; it's that someone pushed you in. They kept pushing you.
Basically, you flew too close to the sun. The fuck you doing up here?
That you're doing that. You're going into it.
Go ahead. Since you like the sun so much, how about you go take a swim? So I want to switch gears real quick. So I do got to get your opinion real quick about this this correspondence dinner, man. How you feeling about the? I mean, do you feel like it's staged? Do you feel like it's real?
Dude.
Do you find it suspicious?
July 12th, I think it was 2024. My wife and I can remember this clear as day. the Bowflex or whatever the heck machine it is in the garage. We were over at a coworker's friend's parents' house to pick up some free gym equipment. And I remember the kid's mom, the kid's name is Christian. He's a good dude. Him and his mom, or I'm sorry, his parents were out there just BSing with me and my wife. We were picking up the equipment, and I remember her saying, "Oh my God, they shot Trump." And I was like, "Whoa, what?" Yeah, the Butler assassination attempt. Only we were literally a half hour away from where that was, and I've like my band played a show exactly where that's. I know exactly where
Wow.
that is. Yeah, it's really nice area, and it's like in the middle of nowhere essentially, and they have all sorts of events here.
You mean
all
it's
the
like a
time.
shitty security, like it's a huge security problem? Because if it's in the middle of nowhere, there's no.
You could easily surveil the area if you really wanted to. So
Of course it was.
I remember that happened. I'm like, well, that's fucking strange. My initial reaction was, oh, it's probably just BS. But yeah, they all said he survived, and I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty odd. And of course, Trump just doesn't seem interested in all about it. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
whatever.
didn't milk it like he normally does,
Right. Hey.
to be fair.
And then the whole the dude that served in the Ukrainian armed forces or whatever was like very pro-Ukraine, had allegedly tried to shoot at Trump on his golf course, which he never got anywhere close. And of course they make a big deal out of
Yeah.
that.
I remember that.
And then there was a third alleged attempt, even though it wasn't actually an attempt. It was a guy who they tried to frame as that, and the media blasted up. It didn't really blow up like everything. The guy did like interviews and everything and said like, "Oh no, actually I really like Trump," and that just turned out to be BS.
Awkward.
This one happens.
Oh, don't forget about Dylan Roof.
The which one?
Dylan Roof.
Was it that the shooter in that one church?
No. Oh, no. Dylan Roof was the one. Dylan Roof was the one who shot him at. What was it? At the.
Was that at the golf course? No. I'm sorry.
During the election.
Butler was Matthew Crooks.
Matthew Crooks. My bad. I said Dylan Roof. Matthew Crooks.
Yeah, that was the one in Butler.
Weird white boys got with their names. I get confused. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, then this one happens, and I'm like, okay, I don't believe the Secret Service is this incompetent that they would allow this to happen multiple times. I'm not sorry, I don't believe that. I don't. What else am I supposed to conclude from this? The Iran war is going awful. Nobody asked for this. Like, in fact, it's like the most unpopular war in U.S. history. Nothing is going Trump's way currently. They're still playing trusters. Nick's the man.
What's up, Nick? Man, what's going on, bro?
What like? And then this happens. It's like a straight up fucking like shoe in. Like, oh, this is gonna make Trump look cool again. Except for nobody cares, because guess what? This just seems like bullshit. Nobody cares. Even like I remember Nick Fuentes tweeted out. He was like, "Is it just me or does like nobody care about this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I just looked at it. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think anybody cares because like, all right, if you're gonna do it. But like, at a certain point, I refuse to believe that a government that can supply weapons to commit a genocide in 4K, I refuse to believe they can't secure a hotel. I'm sorry,
bruh.
If I just can't believe that. So I'm sorry. I know that was all over the place as a tangent, but like, I just don't believe they're this incompetent.
You're spot on, because it's like, okay, one time, all right, whatever. 2 times, dog. Like Reagan got shot one time. That man actually revamped his entire Secret Service protocol after one. At what, bro? We still haven't gotten the conclusion of what happened with Crooks.
Right.
How, you know what I'm saying? That was one of the weirdest situations ever, because everybody's like, "Hey man, that dude has a gun up there." Okay, and y'all not worried he gonna shoot somebody? Nah, man, he's cool. Like, he's just up there hanging out. Boom! I can't believe this guy shot somebody. Oh shit! Yeah, we were screaming because I remember reporting on that. Like, dog, there were so many people saying this dude is climbing the roof. Hey, where are the cops at? Why weren't there Secret Service members there in that? Because that was like a huge blind spot. Like not a blind spot, but like it was actually open, which is crazy.
Yeah, I probably know at least 24 people who were there personally, like as in people that I've interviewed, people that I've hung out with in person, and all of them pretty much said the same thing. Like, yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, no way. So this whole situation, bro, they were saying that anybody and everybody was getting in, was walking into the hotel. They didn't have metal detectors for the entrance. I don't care if there are already residents in the hotel. Like, okay, that is something you can't really help because they do have to continue conducting business as usual. I don't give a damn. The president of the United States and half the damn the people in the succession of the president of the United States are in that building. And you don't bring metal detectors to get into the building.
Right.
Then you don't have any security at the elevator before you get to the metal detectors, where the Secret Service member, when he ran through this dude's, and they, I don't know if you've seen the timeline that they put out, that CNN put out, at least the one that Secret Service gave them. I don't know if you saw it, but they said, then he pulled out his shotgun, and that's when they reacted. And I'm like, motherfucker, first of all, when he got off the elevator, you don't pull out a shotgun. What you do, pull out of a goddamn magical hat? It's a shotgun. You saw that shotgun the moment he got off that elevator.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, and maybe you did see it and they told you, hey man, chill out. Hey, let him run through real quick. We're gonna let him get one off. And like, there is no way. I was explaining that. So I did a security detail when Joe Biden came to Fort Bragg, and I remember laughing because of how efficient the goddamn security. It was over the top, in my opinion. Because I'm like, bro, this isn't even goddamn Batman. We doing all this for Robin? We doing it for Joe Biden? I don't care about Joe Biden. But boy, when I tell you, it was locked down. Because it's still Joe Biden. And that was a popular administration.
Right.
And y'all, weren't they the ones telling us that they were worried that terrorist cells from Iran might come through Mexico and commit a terrorist attack and da-da-da-da. Y'all been saying that since war with Iran started, but y'all can't put metal detectors at like to enter the building. That is insane to me. That is absolutely nuts. That is almost if somebody wanted you gone or you wanted an excuse, like you wanted to build morale because the one time, so with Crooks, for example, he shot up in popularity. Like that, it was crazy how much him kind of getting shot worked. And I don't, like, Trump does have a bad habit, like just in politics, thinking that he can use the same strategy more than once and yield the same results.
Yeah.
Like, he is that kind of, man, last time I almost got killed. But like, the other thing too, bro, before we get into these other reactions, y'all took off JD Vance from the stage first. Get JD. You gotta stay Vance.
I heard someone explain this as he's a little bit more mobile, but like, I don't know, man.
That is the most ridiculous shit
Yeah.
I have ever heard. Can you imagine them saying, hey, man, remember FDR? Well, yeah, polio, right? Was it polio you had?
Yeah, I think so.
FDR got that wheelchair, man. We got to save Henry Wallace first. Even though, really, preferentially, I would have chosen Henry Wallace. But just saying, like, imagine that people, boy, you fight everybody. Really, I feel like with a lot of other presidencies, in that particular situation, it isn't because someone attempted to attack Trump. That's not why people should be fired. You can't really stop people from being crazy. It's the way that it happened, the possibilities that were created from a lack of discipline and security. Mm-hmm. That's why people should be fired. Fucking anybody who is considered a leader from that security team should be fired.
Right.
You should be fired. Shit, hell, you might you may need to be considered an accomplice, at least complicit in what took place. And I remember somebody had floated the idea, and of course it's completely speculative. Somebody floated the idea that maybe JD Vance knew it was coming, and maybe maybe Trump didn't know, because Trump doesn't pay attention to details.
No.
He does not pay attention to details. And so whenever all this went down, Trump wasn't the first person that said to say this is why he needs his ballroom. It was other people saying that. Then he ran with it. But it's like, yeah, let's give him something to use so that, he could take the narrative back. But getting JD Vance out first is like, and then Trump just sitting there twiddling his thumbs was the weirdest thing. Like, I remember watching Larry Johnson. He was like, bro, there is no protocol that exists, period, that says get the vice president out first. I call it the Peter Thiel protocol, but
this whole situation's weird, and especially you talked about the whole ballroom thing earlier, and about how all the MAGA bots just came out and said build the ballroom, and like I try not to do the horseshoe theory thing where like both sides are the same, but like, man, there's so much continuity of agenda, and like there's so much just the same behaviors. You saw my one tweet where Trump's saying, "Oh, we need to stop this hate speech." Okay, so Joe Biden said we can't have hate speech against non-binary people or whatever it is, and they need safe spaces on college campuses, right? That's the Democrat talking point for the last 20 years. Ever since Trump's been in, since 2024, like him and all the Republicans are like, we need safe spaces for Jewish kids on college campuses, and they need to be protected from hate speech. I'm like, guys, can you at least use like different words? Like, it's literally like you have Mad Libs for like all this stuff. And now,
it
of course,
is embarrassing.
The progressive journalists, right? Back in 2020, wear your mask, get your, your jab. Now, all of a sudden, you have all the right wingers saying, once again, the same stuff. We stand with Israel. We need to build the ballroom. Like, or what was the other one? You shared it. Oh, what the hell was it? A short-term gain for short-term pain for long-term gain. Yeah. All these things. I'm like, can you guys like just not?
We're not starting the war. We're finishing it.
Yeah, everyone gets fed these talking points. It's literally like there's group chats that go out and they're like, all right, guys, this is what we're saying today. Got it? Cool.
Elon's exit, that's exactly what happens. Yeah. And given that, so most journalists are part of like just groups of people who basically share the same ideas. We help promote each other's stuff, all that good stuff, connect for interviews and things like that. So like, I know groups like that exist already.
For sure.
And I know, for example, that group with Tim Pool, I know the people that were in that group and who got hit. I personally know because I know who helped create the group. And I knew I'm like, oh, this is gonna go south because Tim Pool and majority of those people would sell their fucking souls for a hot pocket if they were on a desert island, even if they were just 3 feet away from shore. Like, they're like that. That is how and that's literally what happened. So there are groups like that. And these people will literally tweet the same shit out at the same time, and they almost put no variation in the phrasing of their tweets. And they get boosted immediately, right?
Yep.
It is, it's obvious that it's being manipulated. There so many people have kind of really perceived recently, like, oh, I ran an analysis on my X account, bro. X told me. They said you're getting suppressed all over X. So actually, Grok said it is not worth it for you to pay for your check mark because it is not giving you the boost that was allegedly created to give you. It is not giving you any preferential boost, even though you have a blue check. Yeah,
right.
Which is like Grok told me this, y'all. So there are people being deboosted, but also the algorithm is manipulating people to be boosted. And even though Elon will pretend like he has a problem with Trump, if you notice, who does he boost? Everybody that supports Trump.
Yeah, MAGA surrogates, the MAGA bots that are all, they're all tweeting out, build the ballroom. We were always told that like the progressive journalists are the worst. And like some people in my sphere always say like, you don't hate journalists enough, as in like the slimy, shit lib journalists. But like, I'm sorry, all you guys are acting the exact same at this point. So like, I'm sorry.
What's the difference between Rachel Maddow and that one guy that actually weirdly looks like Rachel Maddow's brother? The Fox News dude? who just says like the most ridiculous shit. Like he says ridiculous, but you know who I'm talking about, bro. He literally looks like he could be Rachel Maddow's brother. He has these most ridiculous things.
Jesse Kelly? No, not Jesse Kelly.
Jesse
Waters?
Jesse Waters? I think it might be Jesse Waters. Let me make sure, but I think it is Jesse Waters.
I think it took me a second, but I think I know. Yeah, and another talking point that
Jesse Waters. That's it, bro. Don't he look like Rachel Maddow? Man, now we got it. Now y'all never gonna get this image out of y'all head because I'm about to put.
Oh crap!
Hold on.
You remember everybody was saying, "Oh, Trump is beating up on China." That was another one, right? When based on no evidence at all. Like you just see
y'all trying to tell me I don't look like. Y'all trying to tell me this don't look like
that's
like Rachel Maddow brother? Y'all look like Rachel Maddow brother, y'all? Come on. Come on. It looked like it could be Rachel Maddow. Just, she just switched up like, it's my time to go on Fox News. Took out, slick the hair back, put on Bro, and his takes are just as ludicrous as like Rachel Maddow's are.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Louise Brooks. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for the super chat. But we gotta look at some of the craziest reactions to this shooting, if you want to even call it that. Because
shooting, quote unquote.
Yeah, there were shots fired. Like we can't confirm that at least, right? So Erica Kirk finally decided to pop out the right night. It's crazy because like, what is her official position again?
I'm pretty sure. Is it CEO of or is it
CEO TPUSA?
Yeah.
Why the hell is she at the White House correspondent there? What is her value there?
I think probably their argument would be, what the hell was it? That she's relevant to the administration because that's the way they felt Charlie was. That would probably be their argument.
To provide legitimacy. But look at this.
Well, yeah.
I just want to go find
Conveniently,
I just want to go home. And right in front of all the cameras.
Yeah. Well, I pointed this out before too, and this was literally like the day Charlie was killed. And I think I may have asked you this before. If Niko, your wife,
I'd divorce her.
Yeah, if she went up to her best friends and said, "Hey, I need you to take a video of me kissing my dead husband's hands."
Yeah, no, I'm coming back to haunt her.
That's a little weird. I'm sorry.
I've
never seen, and I've been around a lot of people who are younger than me that are way more on social media and just kind of, for the clicks, I want likes on social media. I have never seen anybody do that.
Yeah, right. It's and that list is long of the weird shit people do to get clicks for social media.
Yes.
And that was by far one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Yes.
But here's her tweet. So y'all, I don't know if y'all are aware, but Erica has basically been MIA on social media, on X specifically, right? Because she was getting roasted, effectively. I mean, that's the bit. So she would pop in, maybe say one thing and disappear. But she's been basically disappeared off of X for months, especially since Candace started going at her because every time she tweets something out, she would get called out. So, never let a good tragedy go to waste. Saturday was yet another traumatic example of the evil in our country and the continued rise in political violence. I'm taking time to spend with my family. Okay? I'll be joining the Charlie Kirk Show Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern to briefly address what took place. Enough is enough. Why are you announcing, first of all, why are you announcing that you're taking time to spend with your family? No one asked you, and you didn't have a problem not being on X and making announcements about what you were not doing and what appearances you were going to be making before. Mm-hmm. But now, I'm taking time to be, bro, this is what happened on Sunday. I'm taking time to be with my family, okay? But on Wednesday, though, hey, Charlie Kirk Show. Why are you... out of curiosity, why are you taking time to be with your family as if you are the target or you were the target? How did you manage to make this about you, Erica?
It's not the first time that she did this either, because once again, what happened with the whole Vance situation? What was that, 2 weeks ago? Even the FBI came out and said, yeah, there were no credible threats.
Yeah. She was like, I just really, and then Vance even said, like, he confirmed, she was getting threats. And the FBI was like, no, the fuck she wasn't. What are you talking about? Why? That did not happen. That was not, that did not, those threats did not exist. She's lying. And she was, bro, y'all have to remember, she was in not the ballroom. She was in the room where all the correspondents and everybody where President was. The shooter never got there. He was never there. Yeah. She was never in danger. She wasn't the target of anything. And she gets on Twitter and makes it about her just to promote her show. Or her husband's show, rather.
Yeah.
You know how nuts that is, guys? This woman is a psychopath. How did you make an attempt, at least we're going to assume, it's an attempt on the president's life, or if you let, the FBI tell that apparently it's an attempt on JD Vance's life. Oh, man, gotta get JD Vance out. Oh, we know they're just here trying to interrupt those Iran talks. Gotta say JD Vance first. But how do you take an attempt on the president's life and be like, this must have been about me? He had to be gunning for me. What the fuck, girl? You are dog. So, we gonna see. Get prepared to laugh because she gonna do the eyes. She gonna do the eye thing, bro. Boy, I ain't never seen so much dark energy surround an individual in my life. So you know how everybody was judging her for wearing white. But,
yeah. Why do you look like
the queen of overcorrection?
Yeah.
You couldn't wear black to mourn your husband, but you could wear black when nobody almost gets shot. Everything about this woman is so weird. I'm trying to tell you, if I didn't believe MK Ultra was still a real thing, and I didn't believe in the results of it, I do ever since Erica Kirk hit the scene. That is a guy. Bro, listen to this.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO. And I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
Just.
When did Candace Owens claim that she killed her husband?
She never did.
That never
the
happened.
look on her face is just like, I don't know if she's had plastic surgery or something, but I just like, it makes me physically uncomfortable. Like, and I've heard other people say this too, where just like when she talks, it's not even like I think she's like bad looking or anything. Just like I feel physical discomfort when she talks.
It's because she doesn't know how to fake emotion. She doesn't know how to like her tone. So it's actually I watched somebody explain. It was like what are they called when you study body language? Body language expert. Basically, they were explaining it's the reason everybody reacts to Erica like that is because instinctually, if your words, your tone, and your body language don't sync up in a way that seems natural and appropriate for the moment, like there is something in a human body that is like, what the hell is going on? This is not right. It's like a defense mechanism almost.
It's
right?
like CGI. It's like when you see bad CGI, right? Bad
exactly.
CGI. Like if you've seen the third Alien movie, you know what I'm talking about.
So it's like that, but it's like worse with her because like in this moment, right? She's kind of like, I feel like she's talking as if she's trying to get sympathy and that she's sad, but she doesn't realize she's also coming off as angry.
Very angry. Like
more angry than anything. And like, it's like she forgets somewhere along the way, like, oh shit, I'm trying to gain sympathy. I forgot. I was sad. because she can't, like, she doesn't know when, like, the appropriate emotional expression to apply to every situation when she starts talking. And it's like, and then she just lied, just straight, like, I have people lying about me. Okay, explain. They say I'm not fit to be CEO. Bitch, you are not fit to be CEO. There is nothing malicious, fallacious, nothing. That's not a lie, bro. That is obvious. You didn't even hold a position in the company. You have never been involved in politics. You have never been the CEO of a company, let alone the CEO of the largest conservative political organization in the world. It is objectively true that you were, maybe one day you could be fit to be CEO, but the moment your husband died, no.
Right.
That was based off of the videos that we've seen from Candace. Damn near Candace is more fit to be the CEO of TPUSA because she knew how everything was gonna go down, how all the paperwork's done, how things work administratively, how things should go versus how things were going, who to contact for whatever. I'm like, yo, she looks like she knows what she's doing. Maybe that's honestly, maybe if you would have asked Charlie, she would have been a logical choice for CEO. I mean, Charlie did want her back. But like, Erica, so you're not appearing anywhere. Like, you're supposed to be promoting the company. You're appearing less. Somehow you're getting more investments, but your attendance is fucking tanking. The confidence in your organization is tanking.
You canceled an appearance to an event with the vice president.
With the vice president showed up, guys. And this is the guy that they wanted supposedly. And they're like, man, I ain't gonna fuck that guy. I don't know who. And if Eric's gonna be there, I don't want to be there. They're closing TPUSA organizations across the country. Like, you are not fit to be the CEO. The numbers don't lie in this particular case. Let's check out another clip from Erica, just being Erica, being weird. Once again, I don't know how she made an assassination attempt on the president about Erica. Like, cause you gotta remember, guys. So the context of these clips are this is a response to the Correspondents dinner shooting, and somehow she made this all about her. It could be. It is just my opinion, by the way. Maybe she actually doesn't know anything about politics, so she has nothing else to talk about. Could be that, in my opinion. Like, she's like, I gotta do a grand announcement. Because I haven't seen Charlie Kirk's show really since she supposedly was taking over. I've seen clips from that Andrew guy, but like, I haven't seen her doing a bunch of interviews and doing a bunch of co-hosting on the show because she doesn't know shit about politics. A huge driving force behind Charlie Kirk's movement and TPUSA's growth was this show. And she's been evading it like the plague. So it could be that she's making this all about her and she's using the opportunity and this potential tragedy, as a moment to focus about her because she actually doesn't know what else to talk about. So, hey, white men, you just, what did you say? White men, the way y'all deserve to be treated better. Oh man, don't be ashamed of who you are. What? Anyway.
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah,
and it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me?
See, that's stare.
For example, a journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss." To which I replied, "It is so nice to put a name to the face, especially with all of the slander, the lies, accusations that are out there surrounding my husband's murder and myself." And I said to her, "You know what's so interesting? This is my first time at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I find it so fascinating, the dynamic that is going on right now, because everyone is all dressed up, and you guys are co-mingling in and out of each other's cocktail parties. And so for one night, you are able to put aside all of your differences for the sake of freedom of speech. And then by Monday morning, things will go back to being an absolute bloodbath between all of you. To which she replied, literally, she said, I know.
Congratulations, Erica. You've discovered something about politics that literally everyone has known for decades, or at least a decade, as it's become more obvious. Like, oh, wow, what a grand. You know what I find funny? They pretend to dislike each other, but they're actually on the same side. Nah, for real. Also, do you actually believe Erica that, oh, it's nice to put a name to the face of the person who's been slandering me? Okay, who was it?
Right. I just every
Because
time
if she was slandering, if she's been slandering you, lying about your husband, why are you scared to say her name?
All right.
You said Candace's.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that's not fucking. I want to see the journalists that have been slandering me. The majority, nobody wanted to touch your story. Mm-hmm. It took independent journalists like myself to finally call you out. And then even still, they were like, okay, well, there's just some inconsistencies in the stories. And we're just gonna do the most basic breakdown of the inconsistencies. We're not gonna get into all the scandals. We're just gonna do them. And like, that's it. The majority of like Fox News, they defend her with every ounce of their soul. So she wasn't there talking to them. CNN just doesn't talk about her at all. So what is she talking about? You were there because Trump told your ass to be there. And you're probably gonna meet up with JD Vance after. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Like I said, it doesn't come off as sincere because she'll talk, right? Like the way I'm talking right now, I'm a pretty bubbly person, if you will. I'm pretty happy. I smile a lot. I laugh. But she'll like you said, it's like trying to be serious and sad. And then just like that little look right at the end where it's just the eyes. I'm like, can you, like, nobody does this. Like,
he smiles when she's trying to be upset about something, like mad about.
Like, I don't know. When you talk to people, you just don't like.
And she's like, you know what's funny? With a super serious face. I'm like, no, you're supposed to smile at that part, not the other part. You being like, this is you don't know how to human correctly, Erica. Like,
we gotta shut you off and turn you back on again, or something.
Yeah,
like
we gotta update your iOS. What's going on, girl? It would have been, bro. It would have just been better for her to stay. Like, why did you go to the Correspondents' Dinner?
Yeah,
that is a great question because you're not a journalist. You don't work for the White House in any capacity. You're the CEO of this organization. Cool. Maybe CEOs of other major liberal organizations are there as well. But they likely have a history in politics. So it's not like a revelation that they would be there. It probably wouldn't be their first one.
Right.
Why you were there is the bizarre, because you were invited by the president and or the vice president. We all know that. Why you are so close with them still is the grander question. It's okay, the morning phase, we want to give you support. Cool. You know, wish you luck going forward because you're not Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if we're going to claim that the relationship that Charlie had with Trump is to some degree, albeit a perverted degree to some, like, you know, a little bit perverse, but it was a meritocracy. He gained his following. He had a loyal base. You may not like it, but it's true. He earned his place in Trump's little round table of sycophants. Erica Kirk did not.
Right.
So them giving condolences and supporting her in that moment made sense. Okay, cool. But we're still inviting her to the correspondence. JD Vance is making special exceptions to speak at TPUSA events and lying for her. Like, what the hell is going on, guys? It's weird. You know what I'm saying? If I was going to stage an event, you know, I guess you could get the worst actor in history to help you do so, and that would be Erica Kirk. Yo, bro, have you seen this video making fun of her? Making fun. I got it running. Hold on. It's Erica Kirk after shooting. I just want to go home. Erica Kirk going home.
Oh my God.
Bro. You should have just stayed disappeared. Like, you know what would have been more sincere if she would have just not said anything. Just walk past the camera. But no, not only do you walk past the camera, make a big deal when you leave, you then immediately take to Twitter. I'm gonna spend time with my family. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
What were you? Did you have other plans?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, were you not gonna spend time with your family for the next couple of days?
Like, Niko, you and I, once we get off, are more than likely going to spend a few minutes, with our kids, whatever. I'm not going to go on Twitter and announce that. Like, if my daughter does something that I never seen her do before, or if I'm just having like a thought, like, oh, she just did something really cute, or like I'm happy about something, I'll throw it out there. But like, I don't think to just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to spend time with my daughter tonight.
Yeah, hey man, like about 10 minutes, I'm gonna go kick it with my kid. Okay. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, like you're a dad, that's what you do.
Yeah, like what? You just get custody of her or something? It's like a big deal for you. You want to give us a context behind this random update about your life? Like, what were you? Because the way she said it was like, oh, did you have other? Were you going to do something else instead of spend time with your kids and your family?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Since we don't ever see your goddamn kids, I don't even know if they exist at this point. I'm not, MK might have ultra day ass, but so this is another reaction, a predictable one, from Andrew and bruh.
Here's the thing. I'm okay. My concern in the moment was just for Erica, for Mikey, others, and just to see the way that the reaction has been from this moment. And we're going to get into the details. We're going to get into the Secret Service, the perimeter. We have Susan Crabtree joining us next. We've got a great show in store for you. But my reaction is just that a shock and horror that people are alleging that Erica's reaction was somehow, performative. Up yours. Up yours.
Those people.
Up yours, Kyle. Erica Kirk would never be performative. You gotta she would fucking walk out to Sparklers or some shit at her husband's memorial, or kiss it, start talking to the camera and have him zoom in on her face while she's talking to her dead husband, or kiss his hand. Like, you act like she would do something like that.
Yeah.
She would never. Why would anyone think Erica Kirk is performative? Because she could, because it's like, bro, how long from the room that she was in to the exit, because she had said, yo, I just want to go home, and said it under her breath, which would have been reasonable, by the way. Hey, man, I'm just trying to get up. I'm trying to go home, bro. Because having a trauma over your husband getting shot, okay, understandable. I'm not about to yell that shit loud enough for the microphones to pick up, bro. I just want to go home. Okay, thanks for letting the world know. Everybody wants to go home. Shots just rang off in the middle of a correspondence dinner. You ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil. Why did you just make a big deal and then go tweet about it? She's like, why would people think it's performative? Because not only did she say that, but then she went to tweet about it after not tweeting shit. So yeah, sorry, we think it's performative. Up yours, man. Up yours, Andrew.
Well, that's disgusting.
Secondly, that this was staged to get sympathy for Trump, or even for Erica, or Turning Point. Up yours. Screw you.
Hold up. Hold up. I didn't say. I don't think that anybody was saying that it was staged to get sympathy for TPUSA.
No.
Did anybody say? Have you seen that floating around?
Nope.
Yeah. Nobody said that, bro. You just main character syndrome. Yeah. You especially are not that important. So I don't know where. I guess because of his position in the organization, and maybe there's no one else who can do the show now because they're all pretty much trash, and the only reason people watch was for Charlie. But nobody thought that. Nobody woke up the next day and was like, "Damn, bro, that was clearly an operation to draw sympathy for TPUSA."
Yeah.
No.
I don't think anybody was thinking about TPUSA in that moment.
We didn't know y'all were there until Erica made a big ass deal and made sure she was in front of the camera and told the world, and then she's like, if you didn't see that, I'm a tweet. Right? Like she's like, I'm gonna make sure y'all know that I was there, so now I can go and talk about it. And also, if she's gonna do the show on Wednesday, specifically about her experience at the Correspondents Dinner, why didn't she talk about that or tweet about it to promote the show before the shooting? Because the Correspondents Dinner, if I'm not mistaken, was 2 nights, correct?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Usually I think it's 2 nights, if I'm not mistaken. But at the bare minimum, she knew she was going. Like, yeah, I'll talk about my experience at the Correspondents Dinner and why I chose to go. And da-da-da-da. Okay. That wouldn't have been as suspicious. So, yeah, bro, it does look very performative. And also, Kyle, let me be real with you. I think that we're all at liberty to believe, based off the evidence that we have and based off of the amount of times the government's lied to us, I think that we're all pretty much at liberty to at least speculate, yeah, it's potential that it was staged.
Oh, absolutely. Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And especially considering like how performative the Trump administration is about everything. Like, the whole claim of, oh, we ended 8 wars. Okay, well, like, you don't get credit for ending the war in Iran, quote unquote, because they said the 12-day war was one of the wars that Trump ended, but like you also started
You started the goddamn war, or you let your people.
Yeah, and then we're back here again. And like all the other ones that they allegedly ended, like, were you an active participant in like negotiations? Like, I don't know. I just reject that. And then how many times Trump said, oh, we won the war in Iran? Okay, well, if you won the war in Iran, then why do you still
he said it again. He said it again, yesterday? He said that they've achieved a complete military victory in Iran. And at the same time, I'm reading headlines, yeah, Iran's still fucking up boats.
Well, and then what, what they also
busting people's ass. Military generals saying that they don't have the ability to properly surveil the waters. They don't have enough boats. First, he's like, we don't have enough boats for a blockade. I don't know why he even suggested that. Like, you can say that they're patrolling the waters. You cannot, based on any military strategy or any military legitimate applicable military definition of a blockade, you cannot call it a blockade. It is not. It's some boats there trying their best to piss off Iran by irritating them. But that's about as far as it goes.
Right. They also said, I've seen reports today saying that they rejected Iran's offer and they're preparing for another bombing campaign, which is like, okay, well, if you won the war, why do you have to bomb again?
Exactly. Because everything y'all do is performative. Mm-hmm. Even the peace talks. So
100%.
This is actually a good test. Like, if you are a person where it is reasonable to you,
I'm sorry, really quick, bro. What's going on at the top? Is there like a lack of testosterone in the room there? Like, why do they sound like that? I'm not usually one to judge people's voices, but like it's getting it's a test. Like it's just like kind of like the opposite of the whole toxic masculinity, stereotype that they use to apply to these type of people. But Lord, baby Jesus,
that assassination attempts are faked, are staged. Just stop opining on public events because your brain is too cooked by television, by movies, by memes you read on the internet to think rationally about things.
Listen,
period.
Or by historical facts.
Yeah.
Like historical facts. Yo.
Yeah.
What a solid, logical argument there.
I understand COVID. That was a whole op. I get it. The Russia hoax, op. I get there's reasons to be distrustful and to hold elected leaders' feet to the fire. I'm all on board with that.
Oh, hold on, Kyle. Hold on. His partner just said that you can't believe those were ops because that means you just watch too much TV and your brain is cooked. But now he's saying, I get it. You're using historical evidence to justify or your historical evidence in perceiving a pattern that you are now applying to this situation until otherwise proven.
Well, Niko, you have to understand that Trump and the Trump administration is never involved in conspiracies. That's how these people think. There's no such thing as a conspiracy theory that Trump participated in. Despite the fact that he gave Fauci an award, despite the fact that they launched a propaganda war through the CIA in February of 2019 against China, despite the fact that we know nothing about Matthew Crooks, who took a shot at Donald Trump and grazed his ear, which, we could also debate if that literally happened because it doesn't really look like his ear got any damage, but neither here nor there. We're not allowed to talk about. Oh, and then also Trump basically memed Charlie Kirk after he got shot in 4K for the world to see and did nothing about it. So you just can't believe conspiracies ever apply to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has no agency as well. That's another thing you have to remember, because all these people, if Donald Trump does something that they were opposed to 5 minutes ago, then they pivot on a dime to run cover for the administration. Dealing with these people is so beyond frustrating, because you can never pin them down on it. They don't believe anything. The only thing they believe is loyalty to Trump and what he does. They don't have any kind of guiding principles, and that is just, it's beyond frustrating to me.
I also gotta say, it does make it kind of weird now, because no one actually believed or thought like, y'all think this is to drum up sympathy for TPUSA? Well, I didn't before, but motherfucker, now that you're saying it, because we know, like, so Andrew, for example, how's that investigation into Charlie Kirk's death going with the FBI? Any updates? Do you even care? Because we know that the case against what's his name, Tyler Robinson, is falling through. It is crumbling in real time. And it is like which it was obvious from the beginning, but it is worse now. And like, you're refusing to address it. No one is addressing it, at least from their, from their sphere. So like, now I kind of do want, like, well, if there was somebody who knew how to fake, stage an event like that, based off of the evidence, you would know what a fake event would look like, huh? I guess you would be the expert, but this is why I stress this real quick.
But for real, if you are going to assume that everything is the freaking Jews, or everything is some staged 5D chess move, and that leftists don't want you dead, I've got about 48 minutes of clips loaded up today to prove you wrong, to prove that you are missing the big E on the eye chart. And I said it before, but I'll say it again. When Charlie was with us, he was not afraid of the Jews. He was afraid of purple-haired jihadists that wanted him dead. He was afraid of trannies. He was afraid of wild, violent assassination culture that's running amok on the left. And if you can't get it through your freaking head yet, I have nothing for you.
If you can't be a good enough sycophant to just let me use Charlie's name and tell you that he wasn't scared of Zionists and Jews, and he clearly said, "Hey man, I think they're gonna take my ass out," and he was very clear that he did not rock with Zionists before he died. He was scared of all those people too, but he definitely was also scared of the Zionists. He made that pretty fucking clear. Like, I think he made that pretty clear before he died. So, like, it's just, bro, this fake outrage. Once again, like, he kind of gets off the same vibe. It's not as bad as Erica, but the same disingenuous emotion that Erica projects, and it makes you have this innate, inherent reaction of, "Oh, what the hell, bro?" Like, stop.
It's like that television personality that just isn't genuine. And I don't know, man. Why would people be concerned about the Jews? And I don't like using that term. I didn't hear anyone say anything about Jews during this this thing. No.
We're like, this isn't because if Israel wanted to stay, we one thing we do know about Israel, they got some follow through. Israel has conviction. When they want your ass gone, you will be gone. Ain't gonna be a shot to the vest. You know what I'm saying? They're not about to pick up some guy. You're not getting arrested. They don't do loose ends. So you ain't getting tackled to the ground. Oh, which is another thing, right? Tackle to the ground. Yo, Kyle, I'm gonna be real with you. This dude is black. You can run through security, shoot a Secret Service agent, try to get to the president, and you just get tackled to the ground? Like, he had a better chance of getting shot if he was just pulled over for a busted headlight.
I never thought about that angle.
But it's true. Like, this is kind of weird. Like, this whole thing is bizarre because what the hell? I looked at this, I'm like, hold on, his hair look a little bit curly. Let me zoom in the picture. Shit, this man's black. How the hell did he walk out alive? Well, maybe that was part of the deal. Who knows?
To Blake's point, get off the internet. You are cooked. Your brain is toast. Wake up. We have put up with deranged leftists, politicians going to No Kings rallies where they're holding signs saying, kill all tyrants, they all must die. We have
that's the
Hassan
sign.
Piker saying blood in the streets. We have Destiny saying conservatives should be terrified of being in public.
As people were walking out of this event, they passed people with signs that said, kill all of them, death to tyrants.
Death to tyrants.
And those
I mean, not gonna lie to you, like you're not really helping your death to tyrants. I'm probably gonna dap them up. I'm probably gonna dap them up on the way out. Like, yeah, you're right.
I can't
Do
say
you
this
do you understand how they're like? I can't believe people want tyrants dead.
It drives me nuts because like these are the same people that will say, "Oh, turn Gaza into a parking lot," and they'll be like, "Oh, but Iran chants death to America." Like, bro,
Yeah.
you can't have both these things. I had a tweet the other day where I said like maybe all like this war and militarism changes the way a culture views violence because you know, I think like violence to a small degree, very very small degree, is necessary to maintain some sort of order in order to make sure that society can maintain regular functions. No, I'm
or
not
at least
saying like
the perception that violence can be applied.
right, but like you know, once again, if someone's willing to go after you and your family, then you need some kind of violence, whether that be police or yourself, to defend yourself. That's like at base what society is structured around, is that we believe we have this order and protections that are provided by the government, which is a necessary evil to protect our rights and uphold some order, right? But that completely changes when you start saying that we should drop bombs on countries and just kill large swaths of civilians, and then people are really debating the morality of dropping a bomb on a girls' school. And there was somebody that literally tweeted out, I can't believe how much mileage the IRGC and all its surrogates and all these anti-war people are getting out of bombing a girls' school. Well, because it's not a fucking military target. If we did this, people still to this day talk about 9/11 every single
day, right? Or actually recently they stopped.
Yeah,
because like
that was
hard for you to keep playing the victim now, motherfucker. Like,
that was 3,000 Americans that died. Okay, so how do you think the Iranians feel when it's 170 little girls that got blown up by a U.S. bomb in a double tap strike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was crazy. And remember in the beginning, they were all like, well, it was Iran that did it. It was a misfire. And it was like, at first it was, we should be outraged by the fact that Iran mistakenly attacked it. And then when they were like, nah, motherfucker, not only do we know it's the United States, it was a double tap. He's like, shit, missing the first time. Boop, now we got him. Well, man, y'all how am I gonna ride this out? For eternity, y'all double tapped a school full of girls.
Right.
Oh, you guys are just so sensitive, man. Y'all just, you're just not a real American. Like, what the heck? What are you can't pretend, you can't feign emotional outrage when you are cool with bombing little girls. Like, and you're just like, look the other way.
Yeah.
Bro, could you imagine if elementary school in the US got bombed by a foreign country? Dog.
But you
Dog. It would be World War III.
Yeah, rightfully, people in the US would be mad. Okay, now
mad is an understatement.
Right. If rightfully the US people could be mad if theoretically a foreign country bombed a US elementary school, apply that standard for Iran. They have every right to be angry as well. And you know what? If they chant death to America, if you killed my daughter, I would chant worse things than
worse thing. Shit. I really wouldn't even be chanting anymore. I'm at the recruiting office.
Exactly.
And it would be like, bro, when 9/11 happened, the recruiting office, there were literally lines at the recruiting office. Bro, if you killed a school full of children, like if you just bombed a school full of children, bro, you want to talk about half the country would be enlisted in the military. They would have to. I would, if I was like didn't know any better, I would do it. I'm like, no, we gotta go get whoever the fuck them is for that. Like, 100%. There's no way that you are not a human being if you thought that was a legitimate military target. And that is how Iran feels. Yeah. But that is not how they feel, because they're like, well, but Trump did it. So, it's different. But when you thought Iran did it, you were like, we should all be outraged. Well, but now I know that Trump did it. So
it's okay. It's okay when we do it, essentially. Yeah, if we blow up a bunch of little girls to school and we do it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna watch one more clip. This is Rick Scott's reaction to all this. Rick Scott is one of those guys where you just always ask yourself, why do they call him on again? Like, I don't really know what he has to offer. And Rick Scott actually is he's a piece of shit. He cheated, honestly, to get into his Senate position. It was a huge scandal in Florida. But yeah.
But Democrats are going to have to start showing up. I mean, this is ridiculous. Not funding Homeland Security, it's trying to stop a ballroom. It's all just Trump derangement syndrome. Not paying Secret Service, not calling out people that want President Trump and other elected murder. But Democrats are going to have to start.
Like what? Okay, so when Secret Services are getting paid, when did that become a thing?
They've always been paid. There were when the government was shut down, they said DHS was going
Was an exception.
unfunded. But I think they actually did get funded, if I remember correctly. I don't think it was really like that big of a deal.
But I'm not even sure if Secret Service falls under DHS. I think they fall directly under the executive branch. So that's like Congress gets paid whenever the government shuts down. I'm pretty sure Secret Service does too. Secondly, the Democrats don't want to fund the ballroom, and therefore it's because what you're really saying. Let's be honest, right? The Democrats don't want to fund the ballroom, which might be true. No, what you're saying, the Democrats don't want to give us U.S. taxpayer money to fund this ballroom. And it's very rare you're going to hear me say this, guys. I'm okay with the Democrats doing that. I don't fucking want you spending my money on no goddamn ballroom.
Right.
It's weird to me that y'all somehow believe that this ballroom is supposed to be the game changer of a lifetime. I do not, bro. I promise. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, but like the guy who's the architect behind the ballroom, who is supposed to be building it, is an Israeli. I don't know if you knew. Yeah, bro.
Every single time,
bro. You want to talk about like, yeah, we know, bro. Like that shit's about to be bugged up. We know they about to be like, we know why. Somebody told him you were going to build this ballroom because we don't have confidence that the ones who come after you or even the people that work for you are working with us anymore because we're kind of unpopular. So we need you to build a room where we can tap it, and your agencies don't know, and your agencies can't let people who are on the team know. That's honestly. This is bizarre, crazy, the way that they're talking about this ballroom.
So first you have the whole shooting, quote unquote. Then you have all the MAGA influencers all tweet out at the same time, build the ballroom. Trump truths it out, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then they also pushed for the FISA 702 to be renewed, which was the original spying apparatus, the FISA courts, where you get a warrant to spy on people. Trump pushed to renew that again after he said kill FISA like 2 years ago. And once again, the FISA courts were the same thing that Obama used to wiretap his campaign back in 2015. And now all of a sudden he's pushing for this blatant Fourth Amendment violation that is a complete and total violation of people's privacy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you can never let a good tragedy go to waste, man.
Nope.
Like, but it's like you didn't need to fucking spy on anybody. Just put a metal detector at the front door. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to spy on nobody.
Right.
You did. Just metal detector, dog. And also, like, let's be honest too. It was weird when they were like going through the arsenal. They had a shotgun, okay, handgun, okay, had a bunch of large knives. What the fuck, huh?
Yeah, what are you gonna stab some people?
You ain't gonna get close enough to nobody to stab them, boy. What?
Yeah.
Also, you gonna get through the metal. You're gonna walk through the metal detector with large knives, like all of that. And he doesn't get even, bro. He doesn't even have a flesh wound. Didn't have a mark. It looked like they tackled him onto a set of nice plush pillows.
Yeah. Like, all right, now you're gonna get down shirtless, and we're gonna take a real nice picture. All right.
Yeah. Also, like, what was up with that? Why was he shirtless? What was it? Was there an explanation for that?
Did they rip his shirt off when he was running or something like that? Like, I don't know.
Maybe, but like,
I mean, we've all ripped a shirt before. You got to be like,
you're gonna leave a mark. It usually marks, right?
Yeah, you're gonna leave a mark, but like that doesn't happen accidentally either.
Yeah, it was that whole situation was bizarre, man. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this live stream episode of For the People podcast. Make sure you go follow Man Kyle right now on subscribe to his channel on YouTube. The link is in the description. Follow us on at Real Niko House on X. Kyle bro.
Matovic.
Say it. There you go. Matovic. Mr. Slavic last name. No, I'm playing. It's his full name, right? Kyle Matovic on X. Yeah, at Kyle Matovic. Follow on Hotspot too, man. You know we stay dropping bangers on Hotspot. Yeah, subscribe and make sure that you support the show. You can support the show by becoming a premium subscriber on YouTube, or you can join our premium subscriptions on Patreon. Both of those links are in the description as well. Other than that, don't forget to come back and comment, boosting the algorithm, because you know your boy be getting censored. So whatever help we can, and share, so we can help break through this algorithm that does not like sharing truthful statements like Erica is not fit to be the CEO. Apparently that's a problem. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, always remember more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.